Now we'll explain the switches on the console switch panel. We'll start on the bottom port side. First, we have the parallel switch. Pushing this switch will allow all the batteries to be tied together. This is good if you have been at the sandbar for a day or something was left on. It'll tie all the batteries together so that you can start your motors and get home again. After that, we have a bait light switch. This turns on the lights that are in the corner bait wells on the stern. There's one for the port and one for the starboard. Both lights are energized by this one switch. Next, we have bait well 1 and bait well 2. Bait well 2 is the lowest one. This allows the pump to run and put water into that bait well. Bait well 1 is the other bait well that will allow for the other bait well to have water introduced to its tub. Next switch is the gyro switch. This will energize the DC panel at the helm for the gyro. This is an AC powered gyro unit though, so you'll also have to energize the switch on the panel down in the cabin. We'll explain that in a subsequent chapter. Next we have a switch for the macerator. The macerator removes water from the starboard side fish box. You'll turn it on to pump out any residual water you may have from washdown or ice that melted or fish that were in there. After this, we have the 3 switches for the bilge pumps. Bilge pump 1, BP1, is forward. BP 2 and 3 are the 2 bilge pumps that are located in the center aft bilge. Next is a button that's labeled windlass. This turns on the windlass circuit. There are also other controls that will need to be energized. We'll explain those in a subsequent chapter. After that, we have navigation lights. The nav lights are on the hardtop and energized when you turn on this switch. We'll explain their operation in a subsequent chapter as well. Next, we have the anchor light switch. You'll use this when you're anchored at night. It will illuminate just the anchor light. It's a 360 white light. Next to the anchor light, we have the hardtop lights. These are 4 color lights that you can energize by pushing the button once for white, twice for red, 3 times for blue, and the 4th time will give you a violet light. There are 3 switches for the spreader lights on this boat. The one that's closest to the center of the switch panel turns on the forward spreader light. It illuminates the forward area of the boat, does a good job of that, allowing someone to see around at night on deck. The second spreader light switch energizes the 2 spreader lights that are on each side of the hardtop. This is great for pulling up to a dock and looking over at the side. There's another spreader light switch that's a little farther down the switch panel. That one illuminates the light that shines aft. Our next switch is for the cockpit lights. They are 4 color and they're located beneath the gunnels throughout the length of the boat and the interior. They illuminate in white, red, blue, and violet. The cabin light switch on the console turns on the circuit for the light that's on the steps. It's a courtesy light that allows you to enter the cabin in the dark. To illuminate it, there's another switch in the entryway. It's one of the black rocker switches on the side of the cabinet that's just forward of the steps. That switch will turn the lights on and off from the cabin. We have a bilge light switch. This turns on lights that illuminate the bilge areas. The last button on the switch panel on the starboard side is for underwater lights. When you press this button, you're going to have a variety of colors cascaded through the spectrum of light that it provides. When you get to the color of the light that you want to use, you'll simply press the button at that time and that'll lock it into that light selection. You have another panel to port of the steering wheel. On this panel, you have the windshield washer and wiper, have a switch that allows the sunshade to open and close, the anchor light. This does not turn the light on, it just simply raises the anchor light It's a very nice feature because you don't have to climb on the top to go under a bridge if it's too low with the light up. The next button controls the helm platform. The helm platform on this boat actuates 4 or 5 inches up and down so that you have a better field of vision when you're running. The last switch on the starboard side of this panel is for the helm seat. This moves the helm seat fore and aft and allows you a better position at the helm. There are also some other controls mounted on this console. We have the Mercury joystick, the Vetus bow thruster, the windlass control, the Livorsi trim tabs, the Seakeeper control, and the Mercury throttle control. All of these are explained in subsequent content in this video. Plus, I'll say that you need to review and study the owner's manuals that are in your owner's packet, in your Intrepid briefcase.